Okay, let's start with Poppersville, right side.
Yeah, Ted, did you have to take your coach's hat off just a bit when you learned about what happened to TD, and can you give us an update? Are you guys trying to explore another season?
As a coach, you hurt for all your players when they become injured, and that's the bad part of a great game. And so I hurt for all our guys when they're injured. And at the same time, yeah, I feel bad for him because he put so much into it, and it's an unfortunate break, but that's the way it goes. And so there we are.
Are you guys going to look for a medical year for next year, or?
Well, he's about 30 years old, so we're like trying to figure out what the next step is. Yeah.
Let's go to Ryan Neighbor.
Yeah, Ted, we look at the depth chart today and see
Yeah.
Deshaun White and Justin Harrington there, 1-2 of that Cheetah spot.
Yeah.
What is it about Deshaun, well, each of those guys, but especially Deshaun, that makes him the right fit there? And just what is it about that position that helps make this defense, what it's been?
Well, it starts with the versatility, the ability to play coverage, and at the same time be physical enough to get in the box and be efficient in there. So a lot of versatility there. When you start looking at the overall skill set and job description of that position, and that's where it starts. So that's where we are. But just Deshaun's had a great camp, has adjusted really well because he was playing Will earlier in camp, and we moved him to the Cheetah position, but he still has the ability to play Will as well. And with Justin, he's worked extremely hard, been extremely committed, and approached this thing in the right way. And he's had a good camp as well. So again, with the versatility of the skill set, that's what fits him. Sure.
This side, Eric Bailey.
Coach, we're looking at, of course, the depth chart came out. I want to ask you about Reggie Grimes and just what he's done to kind of establish himself during camp to his spot.
Yeah, he's really improved his physical presence, the physicality of what he's done from a technique and fundamental standpoint. Been real proud of Reggie, proud of his leadership, proud of his work ethic, and he's done a good job and had a really good camp.
Kind of the same question I just asked Coach Levy. Everyone's competing for spots. Is there a specific position group where you look at and say that competition was pretty fierce going into week one?
Well, you hope they're all fierce, and I really feel that it has been that way. And this competition is not over. This is just a starting point. That the depth chart reflects daily performance. So this thing is very fluid and will change several times over. Then you throw the injury bug into it and things like that. So it's a starting point. It's where we are right now. It's what players have earned to this point, and excited about the improvement and development and moving forward, evaluating that, and the depth chart reflecting that on a daily basis. Sure. Yeah.
Coach, talk about UTEP's offense and what you see out of them, and also you've got a lot of youth at your depth position, so you must be pretty happy with the recruiting class you guys brought in and how some of those guys have performed in camp.
Let's start with UTEP, okay? Very, very experienced play caller. The head coach is, worked with Coach Venables at Kansas State, so there's some familiarity there, and I have a lot of respect for what they do and how they've done what they've done. A quarterback-heavy, driven offense. They put a lot. They give him a lot of autonomy, it looks like, and he does a great job of recognizing things, and they do a lot of checking, getting him to the right play and things of that nature. So and he also throws a great deep ball. He can make all the throws, the field outs, the field corner routes. He makes all the throws and has mobility to move the chains with his legs and to extend plays. So have a lot of respect for him, and the experience. You can tell he's a really, really salty vet. So again, and then they're very, very multiple. They play it in basically five personnel groupings they play the game in. So you have everything from A to Z to prepare for. And the understanding that and how you build a game plan to to make sure our guys are ready for the versatility that they have. They have. You look at last week's game, and you see the final score, but then if you watch the game, you look at the 4th and 1 that they had a mishap on that could have been a touchdown. The scramble, that could have been a touchdown. The missed field goal. So all of a sudden, you're looking at 30 points with just like that. So I don't think that was indicative of of the score. Maybe it was indicative of how tight that game really was or could have been. They've got big play receivers, and they thrive on the explosive plays. Big play receivers, a downhill running back that ran for almost 1,000 yards last year. They've got a receiver that was a high school quarterback, Flores, that had 9 catches this week, and they use him some in wildcat situations. So there's a lot of flexibility and versatility in their offense, not only with personnel groupings, but the personnel within those groupings. So that's a big challenge for us, and but we're excited. We're excited to go play a game. To play somebody else. We're tired of playing our offense. We're ready to play somebody else, and it'll be as coaches, to see where we measure up, to see where we are, to see what we do well. Once the light comes on, and the areas that we'll need to improve in the most, because there'll be both. There'll be some of both. So it's just this is what you work for. To be able to get to this point in the season where it's time to play a game in our stadium in front of our fans that our guys can't wait, and as coaches we can't wait to watch our guys play.
Second row, Ryan Chapman.
Hey, first game of the new defense, I know it's just a starting point, but for you mentioned all that. What for you coming out of Saturday would be a success? Is there certain numbers you're looking to hit? Is it just execution in certain situations? What for you is a success for game 1?
A success is to see our guys execute, play physical, play hard, and come out on top, and to play the entire football game like that. And to see how we respond when negative things happen and adversity comes, because that happens in every football game. So all those things, how our guys play together, the leadership, like I said, the physicality, the execution of the defense, all those things that, how we play with our backs to the wall. Again, when adversity strikes, how do we respond? So all those things. Yeah, it's not like one thing. It's like a mountain of things, Yeah.
Third row, Mason Young.
Ted, wanted to ask about Jaden Davis. What kind of camp has he had, and how has he kind of flashed leading up to the start of the season?
He's had a good camp. He's been very solid, very productive, physical tackler, and has shown some leadership. And so I've been proud of him and his camp. And again, looking forward to watching him play.
This side, Joe Becker.
Ted, I'm curious from off-season and preseason, what's it been like seeing Brent kind of operate as a first-time head coach, trying to instill culture? What's it been like seeing that from your perspective? He's
been fantastic. A very, very, very strong, powerful leader that leads the whole team and is involved in every aspect of our program, and has set a very clear vision for our staff and for our players, and a passion about improving every day, and he cares about kids. He cares about our players, and all that being said, to continue to push and get to make them the very best version of themselves that they can be. It's been great to watch, and he's been very impressive, and we've all learned a lot from him.
Just from the player side of things, how difficult from your experience is it to kind of create that buy-in, to get them to actually buy into what you're preaching as a coach?
Well, I think there's a lot of factors that go into the level of buy-in. I think you're at a place like Oklahoma that has a standard that's here, and our guys understand that and the responsibility that comes with playing to that standard. And that's been established by the people that both coaches and players that have come before us. So that's a big the character in your locker room, right? What type of character do you have? And our guys have been great. They've been very engaged, buy into the nth degree, and we've been very pleased and very appreciative of that fact so far.
Far right side, John Hooper.
Yeah, Ted, a little more on the Cheetah position. You got a middle linebacker, a guy who's played middle linebacker, and you've got a guy who last year played cornerback, playing the same position. What I'm wondering is who coaches that position?
I coach that position.
You coach the Cheetah.
Yeah, and that guy that played corner, he's significantly bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's eating pretty well, and yeah, so he doesn't look like a corner anymore.
So
Yeah.
has that evolved since the spring? Because previously we were talking about Trey Morrison and Justin Broyles as the nickel. Now it's two other guys as the Cheetah. How's that changed?
I think that again, we still have all those packages, but the flexibility that those players present us, because as you go through practice, you evaluate everything, and as a coach, you learn more about your people as it goes along. And we've certainly learned more about those guys and where they fit, what their skill sets are, what they're good at, and just feel like that's where we are, and that's what's best for our defense right now.
And then in the spring, it was Trey Morrison who said he's being coached by Jay Belay, spending all his time with Jay Belay, but now he's playing safety, so he's being coached by Brandon. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. And then, we've got a lot of guys that learn a lot of jobs, and so we don't like silo a guy. If a guy can handle it. So there's a lot of versatility and flexibility to your question. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, Ted. Anymore, most teams play up tempo to some degree. How in your career have you dealt with that when your own team, your own offense wants to play really fast? Because it can compromise that team's defense. Levy, in his background particularly, likes to play fast. What kind of discussions go on to where you're able to say, hey, we need a little bit of relief here?
Well, the first time that I really experienced that was at Auburn. When I was the defensive coordinator there, and we went really fast. But as a defensive coordinator, I'm sure you guys probably have looked at our contracts. I got no fine print in there that says we only play defense when. Our job is to stop them regardless. And whatever Coach Venables feels like gives us the best chance to win, we're all in, man. And I know what pressure that puts on a defense on a daily basis. So it's fantastic. It's what we do. It's who we are, and that's how we handle our business. So that's the deal.
Jenny Carlson.
Hey Ted, when I think maybe the first time we talked to you, you mentioned that you wanted this to be a blue-collar program. The work had to be part of the equation. After you've had this time with these guys and where you are now, do you feel like you're blue-collar? Have these guys worked to the level that you're pleased with?
Absolutely, we're blue-collar. There's no question about that. Absolutely. I've been really, really pleased with how our guys have, again, going back to the buy-in, the work ethic, the commitment, that's been fantastic, and I'm really, really proud of our guys for that. Do we have a ways to go? Absolutely. Do we want to be a lot better at the end of the season than we are right now? 100%. But up to this point, I've been really, really pleased with the buy-in and the work ethic and the level of commitment that our players have exhibited.
Was there a point where you sense the guys really embracing that, or has that been a day one thing with your guys?
I don't think it was day one, because you don't know. Day one is day one. I'm still trying to figure out where to go in the building, and day one. So, but that's part of a process that you go through as a coach, that you go through development as a team, that you learn about your players learn you, and the expectation level, the standard, all those types of things. So again, I've been very pleased and very appreciative of their work ethic and their buy-in to this point.
Last two questions, Eli Letterman and then Jesse Creighton.
Kind of away from game week, but been in a lot of places. How did Clemson, and maybe in terms of the atmosphere, being a coach there, differ with Dabo? And are you seeing some of those elements now here in the culture that brings it?
I see some similarities, sure, because their beliefs they aligned, and certainly this is Oklahoma, and Coach Venables is our head coach, and we're like aligned with him, and certainly have a lot of respect and admiration for both of them. But this is Coach Venables has done this his way and his beliefs, and like I said, we're all in alignment moving forward with this. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last one, Jason.
Hey, Ted, I just wanted to ask you, looking at the depth chart, you got a few younger guys kind of at the top with Danny, Ethan, Billy Bowman, those kind of guys. Just what have you seen from some of these younger guys during, the preseason, and how big is it when these younger guys kind of, rise up to the top?
Well, again, this is performance driven, and I really don't care what class they're in. I don't care the name on the back of their jersey. I care about the name that's on the front of their jersey, and that's what we worry about. But I think we've got a good blend of experience and some guys that are younger, and I think that that's the way it is. And every situation's unique, every situation's different, but that's where we are, and that's what they've earned to this point. And again, this is a starting point. This isn't a finish line. This is a starting point for our players. So that's where we are. And again, I just want to put the guys to give us the best chance to be successful on the field, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Coach.
Good deal. Thank you. Appreciate it.